The Joe Rogan Experience.
So what exactly is the difference between a McDonald's Mighty Kids Meal and a regular Happy Meal?
Well, the Mighty Kids Meal was essentially the bridge between the Happy Meal and a full adult-sized meal. Now, this variant of the kids' meal still came with a toy, but it offered a 6-piece McNugget entree instead of the standard 4-piece McNuggets, or a McDouble instead of the standard cheeseburger.
Oh, okay, so the Mighty Kids Meal basically contained more food.
That's correct, Joseph. Physically, the Mighty Kids Meal was just like a Happy Meal, but it offered larger portions.
You know, I like this because if I was a little kid, I'd want to fuel myself with additional giga units of alpha protein to up my gains and bulk my nards, but I definitely wouldn't want to sacrifice an opportunity to acquire a Happy Meal toy, though.
Now, it really was quite clever how McDonald's designed this meal, but you see, it was more than just a simple increase in food portions. It was a transformative experience, actually. When a child opted for the Mighty Kids Meal rather than the simpler Happy Meal, they would begin to embrace a new identity that's slightly older, more capable, and more independent.
Right, so it's meant for kids who feel they're too old for the tiny little Happy Meal but still want a toy, all while appearing slightly more mature?
Precisely. They positioned it in a way that appealed to that pivotal age group. Kids who are just about to enter early adolescence who were seeking a more grown-up identity. The Mighty Kids Meal wasn't just a meal. It was a social marker that would differentiate the young Chads from the little kids. You'd order this meal to prove you aren't a little baby man anymore.
Wow, I never realized there was so much psychology behind a kid's meal. Like, everything you said is actually so true, though, man. We never had these Mighty Kids Meals when I was a kid. So when were these Mighty Kids Meals first introduced?
It was back in 2001.
Damn, I was already well into my 30s when this meal came out, so I definitely missed the boat on this. So the reason why I asked about this meal is that I recently discovered these Bionicle cards that released with the Mighty Kids Meal. Do you know anything about these?
Yes, Joseph. Those cards were titled the Bohrok Awake, and they were exclusively given away with Mighty Kids Meals back in 2002 in packs of 5 cards each. There were only 30 cards in total, however, so this trading card game was a bit limited in terms of complexity. Also, what's sick is that each pack contained one of 3 of these tiny little comics, which contained small bits of epic Bionicle lore.
That's interesting. Yeah, 30 cards doesn't sound like much, but at least it makes collecting a complete set of cards a much simpler task, though. I possibly want to get these cards, but I could have sworn that I actually owned at least one Bionicle card back in the day, possibly a Lewa card if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I got it from the Lego magazine. Does that sound right? Am I tripping on balls here?
No, you definitely aren't tripping balls. I'm like 90% certain that a Bionicle card was included in the Lego magazine as some sort of free sample. But that was for an entirely different type of Bionicle card game, which weren't compatible with the Bohrok Awake cards from McDonald's. This card game was it was a whole other thing.
Oh, okay. So what can you tell me about the other Bionicle cards? Was this other Bionicle card game more alpha in comparison to the cards offered by McDonald's?
What a wonderful question, Joseph. I actually have quite a bit to say about the other Bionicle cards, but that's a whole other discussion for another time. I'll tell you what, though. We'll discuss this after I return.